it's Two Braids, and I guess you could say welcome to my channel. I finally have it together enough to lay out my gear and put it all together, so I figured I would take a video and show you guys what I do. First things first, I have my pack generously given to me by Way Out Industries. Thank you. To test for fabric. This is a 44-liter pack with a frame, but you can take it out. And what I like to do is put a compactor bag first.
I should do your entrance video, like in the Adam Sandler movie. I gotta pee.
Okay. I'm videoing now.
I'm just kidding.
That's okay. Then I take my sleeping bag and I kind of put it against the back here. For me, I took the padding out of the back of this bag because it can come out, and I figured I should just dual purpose my sleeping bag and put it on the back side like that. Once I have that down, I put my tent. This is the Durston X-Mid Pro 1, which I did pay for, unfortunately. I stuffed this all in the bottom. Now I have a new pump sack from Thermarest that I'm going to be trying out. It's also a dry bag, so I figured this would be a really good idea to put all of my nighttime stuff in. It's only a few ounces, and it's dual purposes, so I'm happy about that. So what I'm going to do is put my ground sheet, my pillow, my mattress pad, down booties, my sleeping bag liner, and my camp clothes, which double as my sleeping clothes, in this sack. Another thing I can put in here is my puffy for rain protection, but since I'm out west, it's kind of a non-issue right now. If it's gonna rain, I'm gonna kind of be able to tell beforehand, but if I was on the East Coast, I would definitely be putting this in a dry bag. But I do have the double layer protection, which is this dry sack and this, and the bag is as waterproof as it can be with the Ultra 200 material. So, you know, there's protection enough that I don't need to put my puffy in that spot, in this. So I'm just gonna kind of do this. And another thing I really like to do is put these items in the bottom of my sleeping bag, like things that I'm not gonna wear all the time, or that like I need to have dry, like my extra socks. Actually, I should put my extra socks in here right now. I like to have my sock liners and my regular like Smartwool socks as my dry pair of socks for when I go into town or something like that, because I just would prefer to wear my regular and Injinji socks regularly, and then these are like, oh, it's town day, you can have a nice fresh set. Or if there's an emergency and you like can't wear the original pair of socks anymore, then you have some dry socks or some clean socks. Because when there's an emergency, it kind of sucks to have to like have wet feet, I guess. Like sometimes you're going across a river or a water crossing and you just don't quite make it the way you thought you would. So dry. I also have some extra undies and stuff, so that would go in the dry area too. And that's usually it, except I like to keep this this buff that is like thermal, I guess. I don't know what it's called. Whatever, this thicker buff that will keep you warm, just in case. You never know if you're gonna have hypothermia, or you just don't know what's gonna happen. So it's nice to have like a really lightweight warm buff just in case. So without this dry sack, typically I would put this stuff in the bottom of my sleeping bag for protection, but in this case I have, you know, already stuffed my sleeping bag and I have my tent there. So I'm just gonna put this above the tent and above the sleeping bag, kind of towards the bottom, because at this point it's a little bit heavier. So my method right now, currently, as I'm going to the PCT, through the PCT, is I'm putting my lighter stuff toward my back. I know it's kind of controversial and it's very personal, so this is what I'm doing right now. I'm putting the lighter stuff on the back, and then I'm kind of like putting the heavier things toward the outside of the bag, just for weight balance, and then I put my food on top, so it's kind of heavier outwardly, and I'm okay with that. That seems to suit me, but it's always something that can be changed. Okay, so I have that going on. I have things that go on the outside of my bag. Like these nets, because I'm allergic to everything, so I have extra bug nets for if I want to take a nap on the trail, and that's a full body size. And then this is a mosquito head net. These are rain gloves. You don't need them until you need them, you know? I did seam seal these. These are from Enlightened Equipment, and I generally use them for wind. When I have the rain, like on the AT and stuff, I actually wore rubber kitchen gloves. People love to laugh at that. I thought it was pretty funny too. I have rain pants. I don't think I really need them right now. There was a hurricane though, so I'm kind of hesitant to get rid of them. And these are a little bit heavier. They're like 8 or 9 ounces. And I'm not really using them. So I think I'm gonna go lighter. I did have frog togs, and they just ripped the first time I wore them. This is a frog tog jacket, which is like super light as well. Hello, doggy. So these are things I keep on the outside of my pack. So I have this fleece, super light. I like to put it, just like stuff it around. These are all my like odds and ends, like just creams and I don't know, medicine and stuff. So this type of stuff I want to put inside. I do also like to put my electronics in here. So I have my 6-foot charger. I have my C-to-C charger. And I do have my anchor. So sometimes I'll put this in this bag and other times I'll put it on the outside of the bag. Just depends if I have low battery. And if I do have low battery, then I'll just put it on the outside of the bag and wire up my 6-foot so that I can just put this like right here. In here and wire it up so that I can just kind of put my phone here and charge it, or I put it in the back of my bag over here because it's heavy. It's kind of like uncomfortable to put it in the front, and then I just wire the cord to the front where I put my phone, which is right here. Okay, anyway, for today I'm gonna put this inside of my extras bag, like my medicine bag. I'm gonna put that. I have my little charger port. I have a couple of other extras like nail clipper. These are things I like to have. Tweezer. And I have a little like dermaplaner, just in case, like, I don't know, just like that. Personal hygiene stuff. So that I'll put in here. I also have my braids kit. So I have my permit, and I have my comb, and I have all my little rubber bands, and I like to keep some ID. So I'll put that in here because you're not going to need those things every day. Like I only wash and brush my hair when I'm in town. So then I also have a comb so that I can have a nice little part in my hair. And my toothbrush. My toothpaste is already in there. And I also have my wallet, which if I'm in town, I'll put it in my fanny pack, which right now I am in town, so I'm gonna do that. And otherwise I'll put it into this bag when I'm in the, on the trail, because I don't need it while I'm on the trail, thankfully. Also, I will say a lot of towns now, they do have like the phone pay, so that's cool. Even the small towns, I was surprised by that. Okay, so this is like one of the heavier items now that I have the charger in there, because the charger is like a pound. So I'm gonna put this in the front there. And then I have my fleece that I'm just gonna like tuck around. And I have my jacket, which I got on half off, so I'm very happy about my puppy. So I'm just gonna stuff that in there too. And that's all the stuff that goes in my pack. So what I do then is I roll up the compactor bag, squish it down a little bit. Since I'm in town, I'm wearing my town shoes, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll put my sneakers in the top here, because I honestly just have a lot of room right now. Like, this is without unfolding the top, and I have all this gear in here. Like, that's pretty amazing. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna fold this up. I would put my food bag in here, but I did not resupply yet, so I'm not gonna do that. But I do have my bear-proof bag, so I'll put that in here as a placeholder. Thanks. Oh boy. I lock this mechanism. I roll it up like a little sandwich bag. I put this over it, and that's how I have my bag. So this is my bag without a resupply. Other things I put in my bag are my leukotape. I just like have to have this because I'm prone to blisters and all that nonsense. So I put this in the front because I do not want to be rummaging around in my bag if I need my leukotape. I also have my scissors. Another controversial topic. A lot of people like their Swiss Army knives, but like this is really all I need. So I'm going to be taking this and I put it in this little pocket. So cute. Yep. And then I am a night hiker, so I take this and I usually just, oops, sorry. I usually just put this right here. So if I'm having like a longer day, I'll just be able to take that right out and I'll have it on deck. And I'm always careful not to put the on button facing here or here so that if I put anything else in, I don't press the on button because this is battery operated and I do not want to waste my battery. So I zipper that up and that's what goes in my front pouch. When I'm in town, I have my my Nano Ultrasil like day pack. So when I go to do resupply and stuff, I can just use this as my grocery bag. This is like an ounce, so that's perfect for me. So my wallet and my Nanosil, I mean Ultrasil, whatever, go into my day pack. My headphones, I just like always keep them in my day pack. If I don't, I'll put them in here, but it's just kind of nice to have. Water stuff. I love my CNOC bag. Everybody says, oh, it's gonna get a hole in it, yada yada, but it's been like almost 3,000 miles for me personally, and I just got my first hole in it, and I think it was because I might have like pushed it too hard. So I usually roll this up. I undo this so there's no air bubbles, and also like you don't want mildew and stuff, so it's nice to like air this out while you're in town. And then I put this in my side pockets. Side pocket. My Sawyer filter, very important, also goes in my side pocket. And this is also where I put my water bottle. So I put one water bottle here. And I just like distribute the weight how I see fit at the time, so whatever makes sense. This goes into my water bottle pocket. So sometimes I'll put all these things on the other side. You know, it just depends on like my carry that time and how I organize things. But right now it's empty and I'm just gonna leave it on this side. I do have a cooling bandana. So like if it's extremely hot, I like to put this in the river and then I just put it on my neck or whatever the case may be. So like I did get second-degree sunburn on the first couple days of PCT, so I use this to cover my backs of my legs. That was intense. But anyway, I like to put these like over here. And this is more for condensation. A lot of people use a Cooler cloth, but like if I'm feeling like I need to wipe with a piece of fabric, like I just kind of use this honestly, and then I just wash it. When I get to town, it's like big enough that I'm not like using the exact same spot on me when I need it. And then for other bathroom needs, I have my toilet paper, which I put in my fanny pack. So if I get separated from my bag or if I have to go, it's really good for me to just have like emergency items in my fanny pack so that I can ditch my bag, find a spot, dig a hole, and use the bathroom. For digging a hole, I like my Deuce. The Deuce number 3. This one's cool. I like this. This one's like heavier than the smaller one, obviously, because it's bigger, but I like this one because you can actually get a good dig going. If you're trying to save weight, like maybe just get the smaller one, but I like that this has like a bigger handle and I can actually do all that. So I like to put this in the front around my TP. So I usually do like this. And then I put it in the front pocket of my pack. The zipper's a little finicky on this pack, but again, this is something I've had for at least 1 through hike, so like 1.5 through hikes, so I'm not gonna complain. For the top of my pack, unfortunately, I am carrying a Z-Lite foam pad. I usually don't like this. I just think it's so bulky and annoying, but because I'm doing that Uber Light pad, I just want to protect the bottom, and you know, it's just such a sensitive pad that it's important for me to have something to go underneath. Does it defeat the purpose of having an ultra light sleeping pad? Like a little bit, but it is still less weight than the pad that is the next size up. So fine, if I can deal with the bulk, I will. I cut it to size so that, like, you know, I shaved some of the weight off of that. And if I had thought I had a little bit earlier, I should have just made the excess into some camp shoes. I tried doing that, but it just wasn't working out. So anyway, this I actually like to put on the top of my pack. So I just like unwind this a little bit, and I just tuck this in right here. There's so many places you could put this on your pack. Like you could put it on the bottom, you could put it on the front. I just like to put it on top for now because that's just what I naturally did, so that's what I'm doing. So my rain gear, I put this in the front pouch because if I need my rain gear, I'm not gonna go finding it inside of my bag. So I put it in this pouch and I stuff it down because it is pretty rare that I'm gonna need it out here, but it's very important to have for when you do need it. That goes there. Another thing I put in the front pouch are my stakes for my tent. Just because, like, they do have the pokey ends. I mean, they're not that intense, but I just like to keep it out here for protection. And also it's like super easy to get going when I'm starting to put my tent together. And it's one of the last things I have to pack away anyway. So those things that are kind of like toward the end or the beginning, I like to put in the outside of setup. These are my trekking poles. I condensed them. I got these on the PCT website, and they were relatively cheap. They're pretty light, and they say Pacific Crest Trail. It has a little map on it. I thought that was so cute. Yeah, and they also, like, I think 5% or something of the proceeds go to the PCTA, so that's pretty cool, you know, the trail maintainers and all that. So when I'm not using these, I'll put them in the side pocket, and I will I'll just like put it in this bungee or whatever so that it just kind of like tightens, and that's good for me. I like to keep it like that if I'm not using them, but honestly I usually use them like all the time, so it's pretty rare that I do this. What else do I need to show you? Okay, these are some odds and ends. It's pretty smoky, so I do have a mask, so that's important to me. These are my socks. So I really like the Injinjis for so many reasons. Oh my god, there's a bee and I'm afraid. I like the Injinjis for a lot of reasons. One of them is, like, if I have a flip-flop town shoe, which right now I do, I can totally wear my Injinjis and like still wear my flip-flops, which is pretty cool. So these are what I'm gonna put on. These are my actual shorts that I wear on the trail, and these are extra pants that I have for town or for sleeping, depending on the weather. I also love to have this, like, hand sanitizer, very important. You don't want to get noro, you don't want to have any issues like that, so I just keep this on the front of my pack somewhere that it's reachable. So right now I'm just gonna put it above where I keep my phone. sometimes I put it on here because especially like right after I use the bathroom, this is my bathroom kit, I can just immediately use this. I mean, it's something you could take off so easily, so it's not really a big deal. I do carry a knife. Not everybody is into that, but like for me, it's for protection and also mostly when I need to cut my cheese. So I also have this spoon. I am gonna color this because unfortunately I left a trace and I lost a spoon and I'm very upset about that. But for now, I like to keep the little thing it comes with, the carabiner, and I just like to clip it on my bag somewhere so that it doesn't get lost. You could also put it inside your food bag. I did do that for a long time, but right now I think I'm just gonna keep it on the outside of my bag so I could hear it and make sure that I always have it. And when I don't hear it, I have to go back and make sure that I find it so I don't leave a trace. I also have a thermometer. This is not common for people, but another uncommon thing that I do is I don't carry a Garmin, so I do rely on the SOS for my phone, and for weather, I just want to look at the temperature because I like to feel what's going on, and I don't know, it's kind of a practice for me to determine the weather or just like not stress and assess. That's one of my little mottos I tell myself. So anyway, I put this on here, and whenever I'm not sure of the weather or the temperature and I'm like, ooh, I'm really hot, I just look at here and I say, oh, that's because it's 90 degrees or 95 or 100 or 110. Maybe you should get into the shade. Anyway, that's my pack. Thanks for watching my video, and if you have any questions, just let me know. This is it all compact, all put together. I just love this bag, like all the features. You could basically like remove it, like the hip belt and stuff, but like for me right now, I'm keeping the hip belt on, I'm keeping the sternum strap, and I'm keeping the load lifters, and I like to have the frame. So that's what I like right now. I do think since I've condensed a lot of my stuff and got like my summer setup pretty dialed in, I don't think I really need the frame at this point, because you know, even with my shoes in here, which could be the size of my food bag, or maybe my food bag will go up to here, I just don't think that like it's necessary, but it does help with like feeling the load less. So yeah, that's how I pack my pack, and I'm gonna go resupply.